It's always very difficult to get close enough to see how complicated the design is of a current Formula One car. Well, we've been lucky enough to get a car from Lotus. This is one of their 2012 Formula One cars, and it's just to show how detailed the design is. Now, if you look at this section here, front wing assembly obviously, this is to create the front downforce on the car. These turning vanes here, they're all about trying to get this airflow to turn around the outside of the front tyre to allow better airflow in through the front suspension to the side pods of the car. All these front flaps are adjustable, but these slot gaps that we're seeing here, that again lets airflow through here to make sure you've got very consistent airflow on the undersurface of the front wing. The front brake ducts, they're for cooling the brakes. That's the main job. The airflow goes inside of here through the brake, cools the brake disc on the way and comes out the outside of the wheel. And that's to maintain, again, good airflow through the suspension. Suspension components, all carbon fibre. This is the push rod, top wishbone, the bottom wishbone down here, and this is the track rod. This is for the steering. Basically, it turns the front wheels. But again, they're all positioned and they're all optimised to help the airflow coming off the front wing to get into the side pod section. Now this is where the real downforce starts to be created. Radiator inlet is here. All the airflow through this goes through the radiator, cools the temperature from the engine. The faster you can get the airflow to this section of the car, the more downforce you can create. Now this turning vane here on the outside of the radiator inlet, that's there because the airflow at the back of the tyre here is very, very turbulent and it affects all the side of the car. But this turning vane tidies that airflow up, just makes it that bit more gentle, so this area of the car here, the undercut side pod, can work a bit more efficiently. We come around into what the area we call the coke bottle. That's the gap between the inside of the wheel and the bodywork here, because this airflow is going around inside the car here to help make the back of the car work better. You can see here the brake duct. This is to let the air that's coming off the tyre be more controlled, less turbulence. And again, all the suspension components exactly the same. They're there to optimise the airflow going through the car. Now this area here, this is the Coanda exhaust system. Basically the last part of the exhaust pipe has to point up at 10 degrees. But with this surface on here, it allows that exhaust gas to come out and actually attach itself to this surface, bringing it back down onto the floor. Now that high energy flow going through here means that the rear brake ducts, these turning vanes on the rear brake ducts, makes more downforce. That downforce is directly transmitted onto the rear tyre, giving more rear grip, especially when the throttle is open and the driver's coming off the corner. If that works well, the diffuser also works better because it stops so much air leaking underneath the diffuser. If you get that all working correctly, then the rear of the car works so much better. Now this is the rear wing assembly here, the upper rear wing. This is the main plane, this is the flap section, and this is what's called the DRS actuator. When it's hydraulically operated, and basically when this pulls shorter, this flap opens up, opening this gap from 12 millimeters to 50 millimeters. That allows much more airflow through that area. It reduces the downforce in the rear wing for sure, but it also reduces the drag of the car. And the cars go about 15 kilometers faster in a straight line when this is open to when it's closed. Very important part. Now this section here is what's called the lower beam wing. It also creates downforce in its own right, but the airflow coming off the trailing edge of it also makes the diffuser work better. So this airflow from here is coming right from the front of the car, right through the car, actually helping the diffuser work. The diffuser is this section underneath the car, which is connected to the flat bottom. It accelerates the air underneath the car, making more downforce. And all these turning vanes here, they're again just to optimise that airflow to get the maximum performance out of it possible. The airflow starts at the front of the car, goes right through all the sections we've just shown you, right to the back of the car, right to this diffuser section. And the team that does that best usually end up winning races.